Thank you and good afternoon. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report. This is the number one player in the country. Hunter Dickerson is the number one player. He was a great player last year at Michigan. Kansas is rated number one and favored to win the NCAAB tournament. DeJuan Harris is 6'2" and the return starter. Elijah Jackson is 6'3", four-star freshman. Kevin McCullough is a 6'7", 212 senior. And KJ Adams is a 235 sophomore returning. And Hunter Dickerson is a 7'3" center, one of the best players in the country. The Jayhawks relied on the biggest transfer portal, Hunter Dickerson, and return starters from the Big 12 last season. Offense tends to find a different with an elite center to throw the ball to inside this season. Now we're going to talk about Missouri. Kansas will play North Carolina Central on Monday, 7 p.m. tip-off from Allen Fieldhouse. The Missouri Tigers have a freshman class that is talented and raves with reviews. Anthony Robinson is emerging as a leadership as a freshman. Trent Prince can play all around the perimeter post. Jordan Butler could dominate the protector for the Tigers. Pierce played at Arizona Compass Prep Academy. He also played some high school level positions to shoot for the system and translate into minutes during non-conference slates. Curtis Lewis signed with the Missouri Tigers. He is also on the AMU's roster for next season. John East played for them in 2021 and 2022. He was also a Logan graduate where I went to community college. They won the national championship last year. On November 10th, Memphis will play Missouri to open up the second game of the season for the Tigers. On the 10th, they will host Penny Hardaway, talented team Memphis. This will be a test meeting of Missouri. How well will their transfers together after one game? Will freshmen find ways to contribute? At the same time, last season, Missouri did not play a tournament team until it played SEMO in Kansas, game 9 and 10. MU will find out plenty about themselves. Game 2, December 9th. There's more games, but the second key game, Missouri in the border war at KU, will be a tough game as they face number one in the country, as we just talked about KU. When they won this year, it will be a game in Kentucky. Will be Rupp Arena instead of the game being in Columbia, Missouri. Could prove itself at a home game against the Wildcats. January 31st, Arkansas and Dennis Gates and Eric Muslim could coach the last two classic last season games, splitting the series matter. March 5th versus Auburn last season, falling 89-56 on the road. It's a miracle win over Tennessee on the road. This would be one of the challenges. Missouri's got to get a key resume for a win for the 2024 tournament. Bruce Pearl partnered with the Columbia. This is according to the Columbia Daily and Kansas City Star. Kansas State is ranked 40th. Tyler Perry is one of the players to watch out for. Jonathan Grootman, double figures for the Wildcats with 23 points as Kansas State basketball team opened the expedition with a 94-87 win in the preseason Tuesday night. It was the Wildcats' first expedition game and 10-day trip in Israel. The Creighton transfer Kama was joined by Cam Carter, graduate transfer Tyler Perry, freshman Nate Quan Tomlin. Ryan Tunaho is also a player to watch out for. Kansas State made the tournament and lost in the Elite Eight last year. And now on to college football. Texas and Kansas State will play. Players to watch out for: Quentin News and Will Howard, who have a great season. Avery Johnson, young freshman quarterback for Kansas State. Texas is trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. G.J. Guidance and Jonathan Brooks are players to watch out for at the running back position. Brooks has 923 yards for Texas. Missouri will play Georgia. It will be the best team in college football, in my opinion. Georgia is behind Ohio State for some reason this week in the playoffs, but it will be players to watch out. Luther Burden and Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is the tight end. Wide receiver Luther Burden, players to watch out for. Quarterback Brady Cook, who is much improved this year. An unrated quarterback, Carson Beck, will be the quarterback for Georgia. Game time is at 2:30 on CBS. Kansas Jayhawks, Jason Bean and Rocco Beckett are players to watch out for. When Kansas battles Iowa State, Devin Neal for the Hawks is a player to watch out for, and Lawrence Arnold is a player to watch out for at the receiver position for the Jayhawks, and at the receiver position for the Cyclones, it'll be Jay Higgins at the receiver position. Kickoff is at 6 from Ames. Iowa State is favored by 2.5. The other great game is a battle between the Oklahomas. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma just caught fire. Dylan Gabriel and Allen Brown, both quarterbacks. Running back Ollie Gordon, player to watch out for. Also, Danny Sutman at the linebacker position. And rated best edge, Anthony Golo. It's the second best player on the Golo on the Oklahoma State. Kickoff time is at 2:30. Oklahoma favored by 6. Washington USC will play. USC will host. Michael Pearson Jr. has a solid season. Caleb Williams is on track to be the number 1 player in the draft. According to Fox Sports today, watch out for Taja Washington, who has 711 yards. Romeo Ordez at the running back position for Washington. Also watch for USC, Marshawn Lloyd, both at the running back position. Kickoff is at 6:30. Alabama will get a chance to stay alive in the playoff race. Jaden Daniels, who has been a very good player with 25 touchdowns and 3 picks. Alabama's quarterback, Jalen Moore, has struggled this season. The quarterback for LSU, who we just named, Jaden Daniels, had a very good season. At the linebacker position, Harold Princeton Jr. and Dallas Turner are also at the linebacker position, who has 7 sacks. Kickoff is at 6:45. Now we'll go through the rest of the top 25 games. Ohio State will play Rutgers. That game kicks off at 11. Texas A&M will play Ole Miss, number 10 Ole Miss. That game kicks off at 11 o'clock on ESPN. Mississippi State favored by 3. Notre Dame and Clemson. Notre Dame favored by 3 on ABC. Clemson to host. UConn, Tennessee. Tennessee 6-2. UConn 1-7. 35 is a line. Also in the Notre Dame, players to watch out for at the quarterback position, Sam Hartman and Caden Kublik. Running back Audric Estiment Jr. is a linebacker at Clemson. General middle linebacker is a back, and the scary thing for the Tigers is Jeremiah Trotter is a junior. J.D. Bertlin is the best defensive player on Notre Dame at the linebacker spot. He has 1.5 sacks and 29 solo tackles, 4 solo tackles. He only has 1.5 sacks on the season, but that's who the article lists for the best players. That game kicks off at 11. UConn, Tennessee. Tennessee favored by 35 over a struggling 1-7 UConn team. Utah plays Arizona State. Arizona State is 2-6. Utah is 6-2. 10.5 is a line. Air Force number 25 and undefeated Air Force is favored by 17.5. Florida State and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh is 2-6. Florida State is 8-0 and fourth in the country. 31.5 is the line. Penn State, Maryland, 2:30. 11 Penn State, 7-1, 8.5 Penn State. Louisville and Virginia Tech. Louisville is 10-point favorites against Virginia Tech. Louisville is 7-1. Kickoff is at 2:30. Tulane and East Carolina, 2:30. 17 is a line. Tulsa, number 24. Oregon, 7-1. The Pac-12. California, 3-5. Kickoff is at 4:30 on Pac-12 Network. Purdue and Michigan. Purdue is 2-6. Michigan is 8-0. Michigan is favored by 32.5. Oregon State and Colorado, 9 p.m. 12.5 is the line. Oregon State is 6-2. Colorado is 4-4. UCLA 6-2 and Arizona 5-3. 9:30 p.m. UCLA favored by 2.5. This is Sam Vaughn for Sam Sports Report.